Right now at noon, an apartment fire in Gresham leaving at least 8 people without a place to stay. Plus,
I don't want to use force. I won't use force. All the United States is asking for is a place called Greenland.
President Donald Trump addresses concerns about military action to acquire Greenland. And a man arrested for participating in the January 6th attack on the Capitol puts in his bid to lead the state of Oregon. And later, what's driving historically low snowpack on the mountains after a particularly dry January up in the Cascades? Your News at Noon starts right now. And we begin with breaking news here at noon. Fire crews in Gresham are cleaning up after a fire broke out this morning at a Gresham apartment complex. Thanks for joining us at noon. I'm Tim Gordon. No one was hurt, but people from 8 apartments are now displaced. Let's get right to Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz, who's live near that apartment complex for us. And Thomas, what more have you learned today?
Yeah, Tim, we spoke to the family who says the fire started in this home. The mother at the time had tears in her eyes and was holding a dog. She says another dog likely died in this fire. She nor the fire department, when we spoke to them, knew how or why this fire started at Waverly Gardens apartment complex, but it sparked a significant response from Gresham and Portland Fire. A spokesperson for Gresham Fire tells us 8 homes are displaced. Nobody inside was injured, though one firefighter suffered a minor injury after a second-floor porch broke underneath him. Fortunately, a Gresham Fire spokesperson says he was able to catch himself and did not fall through the porch. Late this morning, firefighters entered the complex, working through smoke to fight this fire. Again, it's unclear how it started, though it began in the first floor before moving to the second floor. A Gresham battalion chief told us crews had to move quickly to ensure this didn't spread due to high winds here in East County.
East County fires are very different as far as fire behavior. With the wind, the fire is going to move quicker. It's going to be wind powered, so it's going to be moved with the wind.
Durham says high winds make it more likely a fire will spread to attics and become even more challenging to fight. Throughout the morning as well, firefighters rescued dogs like this one from the apartment complex here in Gresham. And back out here live, you can just see the immense devastation and damage left, especially to this first and second floor of this apartment complex. As firefighters, some are still on scene, washing this out behind us to make sure there's no smoldering or embers left as the investigation continues in just how this fire started. Tim.
A lot of impact there, Thomas. Thanks very much.
People thought I would use force. I don't have to use force. I don't want to use force. I won't use force.
As concerns mounted over possible U.S. military action in Greenland, President Donald Trump says he will not use force to acquire the Danish territory. The president's remarks came during a speech at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland this morning. NBC's Peter Alexander has more from Davos.
Good evening to you from here in Davos. The situation, the tensions between the United States and Europe really quickly escalated today. Even as the president was delivering his keynote speech here, the European Union announced that it would be suspending its trade deal with the United States, an issue certainly that could have real impacts on Americans' bottom line at home, the cost of living being a top issue for Americans. The president did, on the topic of Greenland, make a significant announcement, also saying that he would not use force to take control of Greenland, but also not backing away from his desire for the U.S. to take over that country that has been Danish territory for 300 years. The president saying he would be appreciative if the European leaders acquiesced to that demand, but said if they do not, quote, we will remember. Throughout his remarks here today, he again attacked, mocked, and criticized many of the United States' European and Canadian allies. Among those allies, Mark Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada, saying that there has really been a rupture as it relates to this relationship. Real fears here that this could have a long-term impact on NATO going forward. And among those who have been critical of the president, Gavin Newsom, the California governor, among others, speaking to NBC News, saying that the president, his recklessness, in his words, is incalculable. The president continues with foreign leaders here today, and he will have another set of remarks scheduled for tomorrow. Traveling with President Trump in Davos, Switzerland, Peter Alexander, NBC News.
And the Associated Press also reporting just in the last hour or so that Trump announced he's canceling tariffs he's threatened for countries who oppose a U.S. takeover of Greenland. He says NATO's Secretary General has agreed to a, quote, framework of a future deal on the Arctic. Now to your weather headlines this bright and sunny Wednesday afternoon. This is a beautiful view from our Wells Fargo sky cam looking out over, kind of pointing south, I guess, towards the bridges there. Lots of blue skies and sunshine. Let's get to Rod Hill in the Weather Center for us now. And Rod, hey, it's supposed to be a beautiful January day. I guess it is, huh?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I mean, it's sunny. That doesn't mean it's going to be 60 or 70 out there, but we are looking at temperatures in some cases getting close to 50 in the valley, which is actually right on the button for this time of the year. The coast continues to be running the warmest. Right now, 47 degrees in Lincoln City. Sunny skies, as you can see behind me from our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera. Likely to at least make it up into the 50s. Here's Salem. Now, this was a cold spot this morning. We had a lot of heavy frost in the valley to begin our day. Salem was down to the mid-20s. Right now, up to 39 degrees. That's a nice warm up considering how cold we were. Portland, PDX, I believe, was 31. Now, I think about it was 31 degrees this morning was the low. It's 43 right now. Yesterday, we hit 48. We may not get up that warm, but we'll certainly be up to at least 46, 47 for a high this afternoon. And if you're not in the wind, the sun feels great. I do realize east winds are still blowing out at Troutdale. That definitely adds a chill. Your forecast actually shows signs of a changing weather pattern. Finally, that's coming up in just a bit.
All right, Rod, thank you. This afternoon, a man is expected to enter a guilty plea after he was arrested on numerous charges, including rape. He's accused of sexually assaulting a woman he met on a dating app at gunpoint. A warning, the details of this story may be pretty difficult to hear. On August 9, 2024, court documents show Damani Anderson met a woman on Tinder and took her to an abandoned building in North Portland. That's where he allegedly threatened her with a gun and sexually assaulted her. The documents say he also forced her to unlock and reset her phone before she escaped and sought help. Anderson was arrested days later and faces multiple rape charges involving other victims from 2023 to 2024. His hearing is scheduled for 2:30 this afternoon. In Hillsborough, police have arrested the man you see on your screen there, 23-year-old man, for numerous sex abuse crimes and are asking additional victims to come forward. Authorities believe Cedric Valdez assaulted women in large retail stores or parking lots in Washington County over several months. He was arrested Saturday inside the Target store at the Sunset Esplanade Shopping Center. If you or someone you know has experienced sexual assault and needs support, well, help is always available. Just call that number you see on your screen right there. It's 800-656-HOPE or 656-4673 to reach the National Sexual Assault Hotline. That's 24/7. Well, developing this afternoon, police are still looking for the man they say shot two officers in Northeast Portland. Authorities say this is a picture of him from surveillance cameras, and police warn you should consider him armed and dangerous. Police say this started with a call about a man threatening someone with a knife near Northeast 21st and Clackamas. When they found the suspect, they say he fired at the officers, then took off. Yesterday, we learned one of the officers, a 7-year veteran of the Bureau, has been released from the hospital. The other, a 17-year veteran, is still in the hospital and is stable. One was shot in the leg. Police say the other hit in the arm and the ear.
1 inch can make all the difference when you're dealing with gunshot wounds, and the outcome could have been far worse for the.
Well, police are now asking people who live and work in this area of Northeast Portland, from Broadway to Multnomah and from 15th to 19th Avenues, to upload any and all surveillance video from 7 p.m. Monday night until 7 a.m. Tuesday morning. That could help them out. You can find details on how to do that in the police section of portland.gov.